This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Lisa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep in your space with Lisa. Go to lisa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code IHEART. That's LEESA.com. Promo code IHEART for an extra $50 off.
Roachy, Alan Roach at Mile High Roach, voice of U.S. Bank Stadium, Avs games at Ball Arena, and many a Super Bowl. Vox of all Voxes, ever to Vox. It's Paul Allen. How are you doing?
Hello, PA. Great to talk to you. How are you?
Great to talk to you too. Are you feeling a Stanley Cup for your beloved Avs this season? And good morning.
Man, they look really good again. They've the moves they made around the deadline. They've got that look again as they did a couple of years ago. Obviously, there's some competition. Winnipeg kind of dropped off for a couple of weeks. Seemed like they were stumbling, but they've seemed to recovered what they had lost. The Avalanche certainly got it back. We kind of spanked the Dallas Stars last time we played them. Hopefully, that's the first round matchup. We'll see what happens.
How you given you Vox games at Ball Arena, and you follow the team very closely. Brock Nelson, how's Brock Nelson doing out there? I got to know him through him and his family, or him and some friends coming to Canterbury Park, coming up to the Vox Box. You've been in that, so I always from afar kind of pull for Brock.
Yeah, and putting him on the line with Valeri Nichushkin. I mean, those two guys, they add up to 13 feet tall and 475 pounds. That's a formidable line, and Brock Nelson with all of his experience, and I've told everybody on our headset crew, this guy's from War Road, Minnesota, little tiny town way up north by the border. Love having Brock Nelson, and if the Avalanche do make a deep run, I think he'll be a big part of that.
Alan Roach, what is ballparkdj.com, and how can people have you make memories for their kids?
This is so cool, PA, and everybody I tell this to, they're like, why didn't I think of that?
Right.
It's a simple app. It's on your phone. You download the app. And from there, then you have many different places you can go. And the purpose of the app is to introduce youth sports. So your kid, whether it's soccer or lacrosse or basketball or baseball, and baseball right now, this is the time of year, and so that's what it's being used for most right now at this moment. And what it is it's an app that allows you to have major league announcers announce your kids as they come to bat. you can choose the announcer from the Cubs, from the Braves, from the Angels, from the Mets, or you can choose me. And I say, now batting, number 12, Nardo.
That's awesome. Wow. Ballparkdj.com. What, so who?
I'm 40 and I just got nostalgic there. I mean, that was unbelievable, Alan. I got nostalgic.
Yeah, it's
and wait, there's more. After I voice that, then you can add your own music. So Nardo's parents can add the Metallica song that he wants to hear right after his name. Number 12, Nardo. And it's all very simple and in the app, and you will not believe how inexpensive it is.
Vox, Alan Roach, when you do music sounds, I think you're more accomplished or apt to do bass as opposed to like, it's more, you just got the bass voice, you know?
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, I guess my next question would be is why do they have other public address announcers doing lineups when you're the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox? I mean, it's like I went to the website and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm paging through. Cool. Ray's guy. Cool. Sure. He's good. Matt's. Yeah, I'm sure that's good. There's Vox. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of those, a lot of kids from Florida want to have the Rays guy. A lot of kids from around Atlanta want to have the Braves guy. And this app has been around for 8 years, and that's kind of what makes it super special right now. Is it's not brand new and working through all the bugs. I mean, it's been polished, and it is so incredibly easy to use. And a lot of the reason that I joined, and maybe the interest to have me join, is because we would like to really start getting into hockey and youth hockey in Minnesota and Canada and the northern states and all of that. So once the leaves actually get on the trees and then start turning again, is it too soon to think about that? Then we want to start getting into a lot of hockey and it's not announcing batters in hockey, obviously, but it's now let's meet your Bloomington Jefferson 12U Jaguars.
Damn. Holy cow, was that good? All right, so ballparkdj.com. To land the plane here, for those who missed it, what's the process? You go to the website, and how can we help the Vox, given you are very kind? How do they find you on the app or the website?
Yeah, it's simple. I suggest using the website. You can go to the website on your phone because on the website it gives... I mean, there is videos for every possible question you might have. How do I add music? What kind of things can I announce? Like in baseball, I announce 76 different things. So you can have now pitching, now catching. What a great catch. Oh, what a throw. Home run. You can add all those things. Or you can make it as simple as you want and just have now batting Eric Nordquist. So there's videos on the website and instructions on the website. But when you're ready, you just go to whatever kind of store you buy your app on and look for Ballpark DJ. Boom, you're done.
Ballparkdj.com. Were you nervous Aaron Rodgers was going to play here? Because you've shared before, you're not the biggest fan. It's more of a you growing up in Leighton, Minnesota, and it's Vikings, Packers, Vikings, nothing personal against the quarterback. But were you getting a little nervous that maybe some thought he was going to play here?
I could not get over the feeling of why would you bring that bag of into our house?
I guess that's the best way to put it. Okay. Well, would you, so say that whatever came into our house, it happened, or whatever. How would you have announced his name? Would it have been like number 33, running back Aaron Jones, and at quarterback number 8, Aaron Rodgers?
I would have quit, PA. It's that simple. I would have just walked up.
Oh, well, with this ballparkdj.com thing, man, if I'm running,
I absolutely would have been professional, and maybe I would have come to really appreciate. And who knows?
Yeah.
What the what ifs are endless, and maybe God forbid, that would be the guy who brings a Super Bowl trophy to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So he would be a hero and cherished forever. And but like I said, why would you bring that in here?
Vox, what are you going to do in Green Bay for 4 days as you Vox the NFL draft? Alan is the voice of the NFL draft.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going because I feel like there's going to be a lot of Minnesota Viking fans there. Mm-hmm. Wherever the draft is, they've been bringing in hundreds of thousands of people, and most of those people are, not flying in. They're from the surrounding area, and obviously Packers are going to be number one represented, but there's a lot of Viking fans in that area as well, Bears fans. So it's really kind of going to have an NFC North feel to it. So I look forward to it for that reason. I have not heard where we're staying yet. That's kind of my biggest concern. Are we getting one of the 3 hotels in Green Bay? Are we going to Appleton? Are we staying in Chicago? What's going on with that?
And you do this for the NFL, right?
Yeah, I am employed by the NFL, but the problem is when you're dealing with hotels in a very few number of rooms, there's a pecking order, and the PA announcer falls somewhere below bus driver and above guy who moves the cones on the street. Until they don't have the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox doing the draft. I think you'll be fine. Lastly, have you loved what the Vikings have done in free agency? Just like overall, Isaiah Rodgers, the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman, re-signing Aaron Jones, Theo Jackson back in the mix, likewise for Byron Murphy Jr., Harry the Hitman into year 14, and after that, they just everything that's transpired. Jordan Mason, the running back. What do you think? Lots of thoughts on that. Number one, it's really cool for Minnesota Viking fans, I think, to watch, NFL Network or read ESPN or do whatever and see the Vikings getting A-minuses and A-pluses and being the team that everyone thinks had one of the best free agent signing periods. So that's really cool for fans. Harry coming back was by far, and maybe not the most important in the end, Harry coming back was by far the most exciting thing for me to hear. I put my hands up above my head and yelled "Skol" when I saw that news come across the KFAN website. It's super exciting. Like I told Alan Wertheimer the other day, if money equals performance, the Purple People Eaters are going to give up 9 points a game this year. You like that B-flow defense, don't you? Yeah. What's not to like? All right. All right, my man. Well, best of luck with ballparkdj.com. Best of luck with your beloved Avs. And we'll stay in touch. I'm sure I'll call you around the draft, okay? Yeah, once your kids' baseball teams start up, just check it out. It is so cool, and the kids will love it. You wouldn't believe, PA, I announce hundreds of names a day all over the country. Wow, that's sweet. Yeah, it's ballparkdj.com, and Alan Roach is our friend. See you, bud. Thanks, PA. See ya. Nordo. That was hauntingly good. Nordo. Alan Roach at Mile High Roach via Twitter, 9 to noon.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Lisa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep and your space with Lisa. Go to lisa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code IHEART. That's LEESA.com. Promo code IHEART for an extra $50 off.
Hey, everybody. So when you get asked, what is Odoo? what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Oh, but then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
And continues after that. Soft and warm, the quiet storm, 9 to noon in KFAN. Let's meet a young man named Leighton Glodek and learn about Strictly Sports and Strictly Vikings. Here's the genesis of the collaboration, all right? Was chatting with local singer GB Leighton recently. GB and I have known each other for quite some time. And he mentioned his son has a cool sports-related startup called Strictly Sports, and that he just had done something cool with Cam Newton. I'm like, damn, that's right on my radar, specifically in the sea of monotony, trying to break things up. 9 to noon likes Cam Newton, and 9 to noon likes enterprising endeavors like this. So here we are, and Leighton joins the show now. Leighton, it's Paul Allen. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Trying to just one up two of the best voices in sports here with Alan Roach. Man, that stuff was fantastic with the youth stuff he had.
Well, that's very kind of you, and ballparkdj.com. Thank you, young Leighton. On behalf of Alan, we thank you. Very kind of you. What Strictly Sports and Strictly Leighton, what are these all about?
Correct, yeah. So I started doing strictly football around so my two buddies, Joe and Nolan, let's back up a little bit here. They started on the basketball side of things. They were able to take that job full time. I was doing the old 40-20 out of college, just working the 9 to 5, and then I was eventually able to take strictly football full time. We cover mostly high school sports. We do some college and professional too, but we do voiceover videos, and we just travel the country trying to find the athletes that maybe don't get as much coverage as they deserve. So we do a lot of stuff locally in Minnesota, which is great, and it performs well because people don't cover it as much as they do all the stuff down in Texas. But it's, I've been doing it full-time a little over a year and a half now, and it's just been living the dream for sure.
Leighton, where are you from, and in what ways, if any, did college, I believe it's Mankato State, the Go Mavs, and Go Mavs in the college hockey tournament beginning today, but in what ways did college, if any, help you with these endeavors?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't really doing much of it in college. I knew I loved sports, and I knew I wanted to do something in it, but my degree was totally different. But it taught me deadlines, taught me how to be on track of my time. In college, it's really just it's up to you with what you want to do and how you go about it. So I honestly started most of it after college, but it definitely taught me some valuable lessons for sure.
Now, Leighton, how did you get to know Cam Newton? It's whether it's your Twitter page, and say your last name so I don't mess it up. Did I say it right, Glodek?
Yep, you said it right, Glodek.
Okay,
yep, that's correct.
Yeah, so you so when you go to at LGLODEK at Glodek. And there and other places, you'll see you hugging Cam Newton. So how did that happen? How did you get to know Cam Newton?
Yeah, for sure. So we actually pulled up to a high school football game in Georgia. He was there. He's from the Atlanta area. He was checking out 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis, USC commit, great football player. You'll be hearing his name in the next couple of years for sure. We made a video about him. We tagged Cam in the video, basically saying that Julian Lewis has NFL MVPs pulling up to his games. We tagged Cam in the video. Cam saw the video, shot me a DM. And then things just kind of spiraled from there. We just started to work together. I went to the UCF Colorado football game in September with him. I was just following him around the entire day. It was an unbelievable game, unbelievable atmosphere, you know, with Shador and Travis and Dion. And then, you know, just standing by Cam the entire day and just kind of listening to what he has to say about, you know, the Heisman hopeful and possibly top 3 draft pick Shador. It was pretty eye-opening, but that's kind of how it got started. And then I started covering his youth games. And then that picture on my Twitter was just a couple weekends ago at a 7-on-7 tournament. He has a team. He was kind of giving me crap all weekend because I do the rankings for the league, and I left his team outside of the top 10. And that was definitely a mistake on my end because he definitely knows how to run a 7-on-7 program. I'll tell you that much.
All right, Leighton. So, like you know, what you'll do a podcast, okay? Strictly Vikings, strictly Leighton, whatever. But I mean, there's much more to it. I mean, you've mentioned video. So, are you like editing things? I mean, are you a one-man shop when it comes to this strictly brand and looking for it to grow?
No, definitely not a one-man shop. Joe and Nolan, they are the other 2 full-time employees here. So basically how the timeline goes, we show up to a game. We do research well before the game. We're basically thinking about the first 5 to 10 seconds of the video. What's going to get the watcher intrigued about what they're listening? How do I get someone who lives in Texas to care about Coy Parrish, who's from Esco, Minnesota, and up in northern Minnesota? How do I get that person to care?
Yeah.
So we think about that. We show up to the game. We film it all on our iPhones, and then we come up with a script. We use our voices to voice over that script. Yeah, and then we put the iPhone footage over it, add some text, and then it's good to go. So yeah, we post it's anywhere between a minute and a minute and a half videos, but it's pretty easy for the viewer to comprehend, even if they've never even heard of a player we're highlighting.
Yeah, you did a video on Gophers football safety and emerging star Coy Parrish that got millions of views across platforms. So, like, when it's across platforms, what platforms would those be, and what led to that one taking off so much?
Yeah, for sure. So Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, strictly football, strictly b-ball, and any of them. We even have a strictly Minnesota page where we covered a lot of high school hockey, football, and basketball locally, which has been doing great because people love the talent that Minnesota has, especially in high school, with just how slept on it is in the basketball scene. Obviously, hockey, we have loads of D1 talent, and then even football too with Coy Parrish. But I think the thing that really stood out about Coy was that I showed up to his game, and this kid is playing 6 positions. He jogs out there for the opening kickoff. He kicks it, stays on the field. He's playing defense. Okay, he gets a turnover. He runs back to return the punt, returns the punt, stays on the field. Okay, now he's the running back. They score, goes back out there, kicks the ball again, stays on defense. I mean, this kid was doing absolutely everything for his Esco team, and I mean, I don't blame the coaches at all. He was one of the best athletes in high school I have ever seen. And I've watched 4 and 5 stars down in Texas, Florida, Cali, wherever it is. But what Coy Parrish did was unbelievable.
What last 2 with Leighton Glodek at L Glodek, talking about a strictly sports endeavor he's part of. And it's really nice to get to meet you through your father, Brian, who I have a lot of respect for. What's the long play with the endeavor? What are you looking to do with this whole thing?
Yeah, 100%. So we're now trying to get into the event scene a little bit more. Last summer, we were able to put on a 3-on-3 high school basketball tournament at the Mall of America. So it was in the Huntington Bank Rotunda, and we put a court on the bottom floor. We had fans up 4 levels around the entire rotunda watching 3-on-3 basketball go down with some of the best kids in the entire country. So we love to go into that space. And then obviously just expanding what we're covering. We're starting to build our iPhone filmers around the entire country because there's only 3 of us. So we can't be everywhere at one time. So the more we get those, the more we can just stay at home and edit those videos. And I think the more people we cover, the more recognition we get, and then it just kind of goes from there.
Good for you, bud. Is there a website, or like how can people learn more?
Yeah, so strictlyball.com is the website. But honestly, anywhere on Instagram, TikTok, our DMs are pretty open. And then my Instagram account too, Strictly Leighton, Leighton. If you DM me on there, I almost respond to everybody. But I do refrain if, everyone's kid is the best in the country. I've heard it a million times.
Right.
So, if they got some real talent, probably willing to go. But the 8 a.m. football game in northern Minnesota on a Saturday, probably not going to make it up to see your best in 8th grade football in the entire country. But
hey, Leighton, I look forward to meeting you in person sometime. And thank you very much for the time. Best of luck with Strictly Sports, Strictly Vikings, and Strictly Leighton, okay?
Yeah, 100%. Appreciate you, PA.
Yep. See ya. That's Leighton Glodek and Strictly Sports. We're going to close our offensive lineman of the day and make it offensive lineman of the week. And we have 3 to get to empty the notebook. And as I explained yesterday, Nordo can fix the race here. He's the one presenting it, presented a couple yesterday. We listen closely for the accolades. We listen closely for things that may diminish interest in said O-Lineman. And then next week, we hit defensive linemen. The week after that, defensive backs. Given yours truly believes the Vikings at 24 with their first pick in the draft, which is a month from today, 4 Thursdays from today, they'll most likely take one of those spots. So it behooves us to finish O-line of the day. The empty the notebook version is next.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Lisa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep and your space with Lisa. Go to lisa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code IHEART. That's LEESA.com. Promo code IHEART for an extra $50 off.
Hey, everybody. So when you get asked, what is Odoo, what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Ooh. But then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
I can't wait.
And that's a fact.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
This is a great setup, Bob.
Setup's fine. Draft 4 Thursdays from now. Minnesota Vikings at 24. Now it's time for the empty the notebook version of offensive lineman of the day, and Big Daddy Khan takes us through it.
Indeed, and I'm excited during the break. This is important to this conversation. On Monday, PA, we'll be joined by NDSU Bison head coach, the championship winner, Tim Polasek.
Sweet.
And the NDSU Bison Pro Day is going on, I think, as we speak. Mm-hmm. And so one of the names that I'll be bringing up momentarily here will be NDSU specific. Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Zay Grable.
You put me in a spot. You mentioned fixing the race. Mm-hmm. Despite being at 24, the ability to go, as you noted, multiple directions from a position group standpoint.
Yep.
There aren't 50 names for guards at 24, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday I hit you with Donovan Jackson, the Ohio State cat. I looked at a couple of guys with position flexibility. They're fat beef eaters at the college ranks, but maybe we got some T-Rex arm terrorism, so teams are putting them at guard. So there are some of those guys, the Josh Connerly types, et cetera. Kelvin Banks is another name that's out there. There's Armand Membo.
Was Connerly
from Missouri.
The Missouri guy?
Connerly is Oregon.
Oregon, thank you.
Yeah, Membu.
That's what it was.
Oh, this guy's unbelievable.
Yes.
And he looks poised to be a stud in the NFL. Probably not going to be available at 24. But I do have a few names for you that will be, I believe, available at 24. And we're going to start with the Polynesian Punisher. I don't even know if that's his nickname.
Can't wait to hear his name.
But it's unbelievable. I mean, Penei Sewell. I mean, just there are so many good, specifically out of the Pac-12, and probably, coastal connection where they were born. And this guy, I believe, was born in Samoa. Jonah, and I'm going to completely butcher the name, Savayanea.
Okay.
6'4", 325 out of Arizona. Jonah Savayanea. And between now and the next time I talk with him, I'll look at a YouTube video and figure out if that's the correct pronunciation. But this is an unbelievable multi-year starter for the Arizona Wildcats. And he was a big part. He is given credit for their, in part, offensive explosion and program turnaround starting in 2023. A couple of draft-related film notes on him. In pass protection, Savayanea's best reps come when he can maintain inside leverage on defenders, force them around the arc. He's got heavy inside alignment. He forces defenders who want to work a tighter angle to run through his frame.
Heavy inside alignment.
There we go. And Savayanea, he uses his mass to his advantage. Now, in the run game, Savayanea appears to have good overall athleticism and range to get to defenders and make effective blocks. Savayanea can smother defenders with his size and force them to have to go around his frame again to win the rep, which means the defenders have vacated their gaps, creating a running lane for the ball carrier. Thank you, NFL Draft Profile or NFL Draft Network, for that little breakdown here. But in terms of Jonah Savayanea, he's a big cat. Another quote, necessary length and athletic profile to develop into a reliable starter at the next level. Ideal length and mass, good football IQ, ability to anchor and pass protection. I don't know if we'd ever nickname him the Polynesian Punisher, but again, there aren't going to be 50 names at guard for the Vikings at 24. This Jonah Savayanea cat has been pushing himself up draft boards. I've seen him, and it's a wide range here with some of these guys.
Right.
I've seen in the mock draft, the experts, they got to put names on paper in February and March to get your clicks, to hopefully tune in and trust their opinions when it matters 4 Thursdays from now. But I've seen him going at 45. I saw him go 25 to the Lions in a recent mock draft as well.
I'm glad you said that about the Lions because as you were going through Savayanea, the Polynesian Punisher, I was looking for intel on him, and I found Pro Football Focus. I don't subscribe or follow it that closely, but I do like how they do some of their college breakdowns.
Yeah.
Specifically when they're tied to film. Now, with Savayanea, it's written lined up at left tackle, right guard, and even as an extra tight end during his time at Arizona. Well, you could put he's going to the Bears.
He might.
Yeah. So this is Skipper Savayanea. He's the new Dan Skipper for Ben Johnson. That's what he sounds like, at least.
Well, and it was interesting to see, and who knows what the kiddies will do. They draft after the Vikings, so in that regard, unless they trade up, they're not going to snipe the purple.
Yep.
We have a chance to snipe Dan Campbell and the kiddies. But they do have to look at, and I'm not trying to replace Frank Ragnow. He's an absolute stud.
Yeah.
But he's getting older, and injuries pile up over the course of time. I hope he's healthy for another 8-9 years.
He got his most reps at Arizona, right tackle.
Okay, right tackle.
Yeah.
Well, they're good with Penei Sewell at the right tackle spot, but if he does get some guard reps, what about Graham Glasgow, right? They have to figure that out. Kevin Zeitler, I believe, was there on the right side this year at guard, but he's a free agent. Are they going to bring him back?
This guy is just huge.
He's massive.
Jeez.
And so I think Jonah Savayanea is going to be a guy that you should have on your list. Jonah Jackson, Jonah Savayanea, not Jonah Jackson, excuse me, Donovan Jackson, Ohio State.
Yeah.
And Jonah Savayanea, Arizona.
And Donovan Peoples-Jones. Milinkovic.
Yes, absolutely. So Jonah Savayanea, look at him.
I like it.
Now that's name one. I got another one for you.
Oh, PFF called him the most versatile offensive lineman in the draft.
Well, you just made it sound like he's had reps end to end, right?
Yeah.
And he's even played center.
Yes.
Oh, well. Okay, Jonas Savaitanea.
I think he's so good he can play all five at once.
With the 24th pick.
Then you can line up 8 skill guys with J.J. McCarthy and just try to win that way.
Well, here's the deal. Is Kwesi, all he needs is 2 draft picks. He needs pick 24 to get Jonas Savaitanea.
Yeah.
And he needs that 7th round pick to get Jimmy Horn Jr.
And finally get a punt to the end zone.
And you're on your own
Since
after that.
Marcus Sherrill's 2016 against the Texans at U.S. Bank Stadium go crazy.
And now we get to a couple of names that most people are familiar with. I'll start with Tyler Booker. And Tyler Booker has been like 5-star, like expecting greatness of him since he was a kid.
Yep.
There is and this is, Bama born, Bama raised type of situation with him. Although I think, man, because he went to, I think he's a Connecticut kid, but he went to IMG Academy. That's the local connection here. Because who else went to IMG Academy, PA?
J.J. McCarthy?
J.J. McCarthy went to IMG Academy. The two remain close friends, I believe. So the Connecticut kid goes to IMG Academy. He is 6'5". And this is... So on the Alabama website, are we hiding pounds? What are we doing here? Alabama, Roll Tide.
Yeah.
6'5", 325. The Draft Network has him at 6'5", 350.
Wow.
So... If he splits the difference on that, that is one big bleep in at the guard spot potentially for the Minnesota Vikings. He's noted. He's a road grader, right? Yep. He's as physical as it gets. He is as dominant as it gets and overpowering as it gets. Is Tyler Booker. Showcases quick first step. He's a combo overall size and strength, movement along the line of scrimmage. So maybe he's a little shiftier side to side. Lateral movement, right? Mm-hmm. Big kid with some good feet.
Guaranteed, assuming Charch is part of the draft show. I mean, guaranteed. This is his guy at 24, and here's why.
Okay.
At Pro Football Focus, Booker is listed to have one of two players. Best hands and pass protection.
Okay.
And then you go down to best run blocking strength. Booker earns another mention here thanks to his sheer strength. He's built like an ox. So he's best run blocking strength.
Yep.
Best pass protection, feet, and acumen and size.
There we go.
Let's see. He ain't listening right now at some rest stop in Utah. But let's just see.
Do you think he's styling his hair in a rest stop bathroom with a comb and some tap water right now?
As he tries to figure out the proper way to use electricity.
I always love that.
But with that said, it's a cinch here that let's just see what happens. Let's just see, when we get back, and it's been a long time, and I'm fresh, and I can't wait for the draft show. It's my favorite time of the year ever.
So let's
see who he cuts loose with. I'm saying right now it's Tyler Booker.
Let's set it up Wednesday because that's when we start conversing, right? And figure out his Greenway in the mix. We do the set list planning. We'll put on the set list. Hey, welcome back. Really missed your insights on what's going on at 24, as we do. We love Charge. What you thinking at guard?
Yeah.
And just kind of leave that open.
I'm going to say what you thinking at 24.
There we go. And then we get the 20-page novella.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And it's going to be awesome. Yeah, Tyler Booker.
It's going to make me want to quit.
I love this bit. He displaces defenders in the run game. I just picture taking a boulder and throwing it in a lake.
Yeah.
Displacing. How sneaky, nasty is that, where it's like, well, this guy just eliminates people from the equation. Tyler Booker. All
right.
Alabama might be the guy.
Saving the game changer for last, I see.
Well, yeah, and then Gray Zabel, North Dakota State. I did mention Tim Polasek, championship winning coach. Go Bison. That's with a Z. He's going to join you Monday. As of now, it looks like 10 a.m. We'll finalize that through the weekend. But 6'6", 312. We have the connection there. Bison, impressive prospect, sturdy, coiled frame is what I'm reading on Mr. Zabel at this point. He's as athletic as it gets as an O-Lineman. He's a patient player. His character and finishing ability is absolute top-notch. And one of the keys here, natural power. He's got natural power.
He got country strength.
He's got country strength. So I don't know how country strong, or if he was even raised in the country. But with those size, with the stats and the highlights that he's making, he's as good as it gets. One of the best stretches, by the way, from Missouri Valley and the highly vaunted Bison to the Senior Bowl, in which he turned everybody's heads, to the Combine, in which he definitely performed at his best, and now to his pro day and moving forward. He's climbing up the charts, similar to what I mentioned with Savayanea. Still hoping that that's the correct pronunciation. He has been plotted. He could go 50 PA. Again, mock draft madness. It's right. March. It's not late April yet. He could go 50. He could go early 20s. Mm-hmm. He could be taken before the Vikings, potentially. Mm-hmm. So those massive broad spectrums of where somebody will be selected, it's still, a bit of darts at a board. But Zabel, by all accounts, with him and Booker, the reason they were the two early names and the reason they're still the two late names is because they are, far and above all else, the best two guard prospects, it appears, in the draft. There are opportunities for that to ebb and flow. Savayanea, you mentioned, as versatile as it gets via Pro Football Focus. So there's 4, 5, 6 names maybe in the bit for the Vikings at 24. I like Donovan Jackson, Savayanea, Zabel, and Booker to be my top 4 as we look ahead to 4 weeks from Thursday.
I like them all, and I can't wait to hear from the NDSU coach on Monday. Also, looking forward to following the college hockey scene tonight. Best of luck to somebody I've known for more than 2 decades, Bob Motzko, and his Golden Gophers this evening. And thank you all very much for listening to 9 to noon. And tomorrow, off-campus radio show, Ben Gessling of the Star Tribune is the co-host tomorrow. It is our annual Minnesota State high school coaches show that we do at a local hotel. So listen for that tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun with Chad Greenway at 9 o'clock. He's Nordo, and I'm Paul Allen. God bless all of you. And thank you for listening to KFAN when you do. And have a bunch of good times today. Bye-bye.
9 to noon.
Good times. If it's good news or money, leave a message.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Leesa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep and your space with Leesa. Go to Leesa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code iHeart. That's LEESA.com. Promo code iHeart for an extra $50 off.